Hi, this is Caitlin.
This is Gabby.
Welcome back to AvengeGirls and Friends.
There has been a lot happening since the last time we recorded.
Yes.
I got COVID.
Yes, Gabby did.
I was lucky. It was not too bad for me. But continue to be safe, people. Please. Please wear your masks. Please do not be inside in confined spaces with people for longer periods of time. You will catch it. And, well, I'm not going to finish the Mean Girls quote, but...
And wear the mask above your noses, I swear.
For God's sake, above your nose.
Everyone who comes into my place of work, I'm like, I'm going to scream. Please put it over.
No, same here. Same here. Please. It's still real. Did not magically go away. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing that happened since the last time we had a podcast episode come out. The election happened.
Oh, right!
Holy crap. How does time even work, people?
You know, it's weird. Yeah, now that we're doing just like one a month, it's like, wow, a lot can actually happen in 30 days.
Right?
We're back with not the best movie, but it's the beginning to the better movies, I would say. And I think Gabby would agree. And it's Fast and Furious. There's no thes. It's just Fast and Furious with an ampersand. 2009. Very excited.
I really enjoyed.
Good. Did you?
Yes, I did.
Did anything like really stick out to you between like this one and the other three? Because I feel like they're so different.
I feel like this is the most action movie of all of them so far. Like, this is, I think you've mentioned, like, this is where it really becomes, like, what the franchises continue to be. So, like, this is, like, because up till now, all of my Fast and Furious knowledge had been by, like, osmosis. Yeah. So this is what I assumed, like, all of them were like. And now it is.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
It's exciting. And I also love that. So this is like you said, it's the start of the action-y, and it's the start of the more like heist-esque movies,
which is even more important.
We love heists here in the AvengeGirl household. But I love that they just don't explain the heists portion of this. Like, the movie literally starts with like Letty and Dom and Han and the other two people or whatever. They're just like, apparently they've been doing heists for a while, and they're like good at it. And I also think I can't remember, I told Gabby before we started recording that immediately after finishing this movie I started watching the next one, Fast 5, because it's my favorite and it's really, really good. And I can't remember, so correct me, Gabby, is this the one where they mentioned that Dom has like a really bad past? Like, he did hard time and like has been in jail multiple times, and
here's the thing. You are asking the wrong person. Because I don't remember much of the movie. Valid. All I have is my notes.
That's valid, because there's a lot that happens in this movie.
Yes. I feel like it's possible that they mentioned it at the beginning, but I could be wrong.
I feel like they just tried to fit like so much in here, trying to put like Dom and Brian back together, that like the movie is just stuffed full with stuff. And I don't get it 100%. Like, somehow it works. But did we need all of that detail? I don't remember half of it either. Like, I'm trying to think of specific things. Like, like Han in the beginning. First of all, love Han. Do you remember Han from Tokyo Drift?
I do remember Han from Tokyo Drift, because I asked myself in my notes, is this before F1? I'm very confused. Wait, yes it is. Han mentioned going to Tokyo. Okay.
This is like where I think I mentioned in previous episodes, the timeline gets kind of wonky.
Yeah.
So this is the beginning of that. So it takes place in between Too Fast, Too Furious and Tokyo Drift.
Okay, right. And that was my other thing, that what you just said about Dom being in prison. I was like, has he been in prison yet? I'm so confused. Right? Like, did that happen already? Because I couldn't remember. Like, I was like, did this happen before the first one? No, wait, Brian's in this. Hold on. Yeah. So it was Guys, there was a lot going on that night, okay? It was fake die show weekend,
People were
and
drinking.
yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot happening.
See,
But I think I
now
got it solid now.
I'm trying to think of, this is maybe going to take a bit to explain because Dom, I don't even know how to start. So Dom in the fifth one, I think that's when it's revealed how many times he's been in prison, which I think is twice. And I think in this one we know that he's like been in prison before, and that's like how he knows how to do these like heist stuff.
Oh,
like
right, because he got sent to prison for like assaulting the guy who like accidentally killed his dad or something in the race, right?
right, yes.
That's what it
Did,
was.
did we learn that in this one? Or was that
That's
in
in
the
like
first
the
one?
first one, I think.
Okay. Because that's like a detail that I have always skipped over, but you're right. Okay. And then, so my my brain is constantly trying to like watch, rewatch all of these and then put in the details from the later films. But it's
Mm,
just so obvious that they like were retconning so many different things.
yes.
So like you've seen the trailer for F9, right? F9.
Yeah.
So in that we learn that Dom and Mia have a brother who is John Cena.
Right. Yes.
And that makes me, and he's been like a trained like assassin, and he's always trying to be better than Dom. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like Dom like killed someone or assaulted someone, right? I don't think he actually killed him. Went to prison once, maybe twice, and then started doing heists after like working in a garage as a mechanic. Like I don't
Right.
understand how this brother fits into everything.
And like no shade to Dom, but like he's this highly trained assassin. Of course he's better than Dom.
I
Are you
know,
kidding?
like, automatically.
Like, there's not really a contest there. I
Yeah.
mean, he's evil, so there is that, but
So yeah, my brain is constantly trying to be like, what? Okay, how does this fit in with like the stuff that we know later on?
no way.
Don't get it.
Interesting detail, and I'm sure I'll mention this again when we eventually talk about F9, but John Cena is also a retconned brother in Psych.
Oh my God! Wait, really?
Yes, he plays Juliet O'Hara's older brother, who is like a secret agent, spy, special forces assassin type of dude.
What is this? What if it's the same character? Just
that would
like
be incredible. I don't think
know?
it is. I think he has a different name, but I will check.
Disappointing. There's a
But
fanfic like opportunity in there, I think.
This is the second time he's been like a retconned sibling, and I love
That's
it.
like a spy assassin type.
Yes,
too,
exactly.
On top of that,
he has, he gets typecast.
he does. He has that kind of look about him, like brotherly, but also like he's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say before we kind of went on a tangent about like how the timelines work, but Han in the beginning of this movie, for one, I thought that he was like in this movie more, but it's not. He comes in more in Fast Five, which is like the first team up Avengers-esque kind of movie.
Oh, okay.
So I love that they like tried to explain Han's relationship with Vin in the beginning because apparently he knows him in Tokyo Drift, right? Mm-hmm. So in like the space of like one short line, they tried to be like, we've been together for like a long time and we're brothers, and now I'm gonna go to Tokyo because we're done here. Even though like Tokyo Drift canonically doesn't happen until after the sixth movie. So they have like no idea what they were gonna do in the future is what my implication here, because clearly they're like, we're never gonna see Han again, even though, as we know, we do see him again.
Yes.
It's so funny how these movies are written.
Fascinating to me. I would love to be in the writer's room for something like this.
Me
it would
too.
be insane. I would cherish the experience.
You don't have to pay us. You don't have to use anything we say. We can just sit there and we'll sign an NDA and we'll sit there in the background, not taking notes even. I just want to see it.
I just want to know how it works. How did you plan this?
Yes, yeah. Like, did they think that they were going to have Han come back? I have to think that they don't, because that line is such like a throwaway, like, you and I, Han, like we go back, like they really do try to like just explain how to get Han to Tokyo.
Yeah.
And
where he ostensibly dies.
Yes, yeah. It's so funny. So what was your reaction when you realized that Letty was like dead? Because I can't remember what you know about the other movies.
Here's the thing. I think I knew that Letty got like murdered. Well, one, I've seen the trailer for F9, so I know
she's in it. Yeah. Okay.
So there's that. The other thing was I read a Fast and Furious political AU fanfic
Oh
in which
wait, I read
in
this.
which
Yeah.
Dom was running for president and Letty got like assassinated. So like I think
And
like
she
that was in
wasn't.
the back of my
Yeah.
head and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's why they did that because she got
Yeah.
quote unquote killed in this movie." So like I was kind of like shocked. And actually I misunderstood initially. For some reason I thought it was Mia because
Oh.
I guess in the years since like she that actress was in these movies, like visually she
She
somehow
looks
changed a
different.
lot for me and I didn't
Yeah.
recognize her. Um
She's like thinner in the face, which so like sharper almost, looking
right,
more
because she
like
got older.
Rodriguez. Yeah.
So I misunderstood who it was initially and I did love that it turned out she was like working for Brian
Yeah.
to help clear Dom and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It hurts. It hurts a
thanks.
lot.
Loved it.
She cares so much about Dom, and I mean the family as a whole, but like, God,
Yeah,
my
it was
heart.
great. And I mean, on the one hand, I mean, obviously, the fridging conversation, I
Yeah.
don't know, like, it like half applies, I feel like, because like she didn't actually die, but you still get the whole effect of like, I'm
She's
gonna
dead.
go rip
Yeah.
you guys apart.
Yeah.
Like, because I love how like fiercely and angrily like he went to like bat after she died. He's like, I'm gonna literally burn every one of you motherfuckers to the ground
Yeah.
and I'll take myself out too. Like,
Yeah. I don't care. Yeah,
which I
I'm gonna
love
do it.
in fiction. In fiction.
Yeah.
Um
I get you. I get you.
but um so it's a little bit difficult because, you know, I don't know, like, are there half measures for fridging? Like, or does
Yeah.
it count even if it turns out to be a fake out? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really read any, like,
Thing about.
analysis
Yeah.
about that in particular. I'm sure it's out there. I just haven't read it.
I mean, in this case, it's especially, I don't know, problematic or interesting. Both of those maybe apply because, like we were saying before with Han, it seems as if they're just writing movie by movie, not
Mhm.
necessarily thinking, oh, we're gonna hint in Fast Five. This is what happens. Sorry for spoiling it, kind of, Gabby. They hint in Fast Five that she's alive, I think, and then in Fast Six, that's when she comes back. But
Okay.
it seems, based on that one Han line and kind of how they've written things, that like they were actually just gonna kill her. So like, does that hold more sway in the fridging world if
Yeah.
they didn't realize that they were gonna bring her back? It is interesting, and especially because at least I don't know where you watched this one, but I think I rented it from Amazon, and in the description it's like, Vin and Paul Walker team up with Michelle Rodriguez and Jordana Brewster again in this blah blah blah, blah. And it's like Michelle Rodriguez isn't even in it because she dies in the
She's in
beginning.
it for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, how can you call it like a movie where Letty's a main character and Michelle Rodriguez stars if she dies right away?
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. Those are just additional talking points, I suppose. But it's weird because I like what we see Dom go through because of her death. You know what I mean? Like it's an interesting character transformation, but at the same time, they killed her off. And off screen too initially.
Yeah, that's right. I'd also be interested, like, if it was planned, if killing Letty did happen to have been like, and her return
Yeah, yeah.
was completely planned out. I wonder if it was because she was like in something else, because I know a lot of the times characters will get killed off because of like scheduling conflicts or
Yeah.
something. So I don't know, like just throwing that out there, because I mean probably not, but you never know.
I'm gonna
But
make a note to look that up because
I
that's
find that
really
interesting.
I don't know if Justin Lin is like on the internet anywhere or if he talks to fans, but I would love to ask like what the writing process is for any of these movies, especially these earlier ones, because
Right.
like you said, like, I mean, it makes a huge difference in how you can analyze them, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Like knowing when things were
Yeah,
decided definitely changes
yeah,
interpretation. I have that experience with Star Wars a lot too.
yes,
So
yeah,
this is another instance where it
yeah.
would really affect it.
And also, okay, so moving on kind of, but I love Mia in this movie. I feel like like we mentioned in the first episode of this season, that like she doesn't really do much in the first movie, although we liked her. And in this one, like there's that, okay, so the moment where like she and Brian are having like lunch at a diner somewhere. I think it's they're having lunch, and she like rips into him about like how he left and how, you know, the last time I saw you, you were just revealing yourself as a cop basically after having lied to me. And did you fall in love with me, or did you actually just like fake it to get close to the, you know, to Dom basically, which is kind of funny that I phrased it that way. But you know what I mean? Like that whole scene. Wow.
Yeah,
I
that's really
love
good.
that. That like yes, Letty died and it's fridging and bad, but I feel like that scene almost makes up for it because Mia's so good in this movie. And in the next one actually, but man.
I can't wait for her to hopefully do more then, because I did think that scene was really good, and I liked that she's like ostensibly like kind of like a medic for the group.
Yeah.
Like
That's
she
true.
knows what she's doing, which is a nice detail. So I can't wait to see what else she does.
Yeah, I think you're gonna love her in Fast Five. Fast Five is, I think I've said this before on this podcast, but Fast Five is like my favorite out of all of them. Yeah, it's so good. I think maybe only second to oh god, what's the Fast and Furious 7? I forget what the seventh one is called.
Okay.
But 5 and 7 are my favorites. It's like, oh my gosh, Gabs, and like Mia is so good. So good in Fast 5. So very exciting.
Can't
wait. Yeah.
I mean, I feel that about like all of them, and I feel like we should talk about this every episode, because in the middle or towards the end of every one, you're like, I can't wait for the next one. I can't wait for you to watch the next one. It's so much, it's even better. And I'm like, please.
they do build on each other. You know what I mean? I think the only one that I don't feel that way is the Fate of the Furious, the 8th one. I don't like anything that really happens in that movie.
Oh, no.
Except for the introduction of Charlize Theron as, I think her name's like Cypher. She's like a hacker villain.
Okay.
She's badass and I like her.
I can get behind this.
Yeah.
Because I love her.
But otherwise, they just keep building on.
Excellent.
Yeah. Giselle. I wanted to talk about Giselle briefly too. I feel like there's not too much in this movie to talk about, but she's in the next one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she's so good in the next one. So I feel like I just need to give her like a shout out in this one, just for like setting up the character.
Okay. There was a like split second where in my inebriated state, I thought to myself, I was like, is she Braga? That would be a cool twist. Like if she was like undercover as her own like boss or whatever. I thought that would have been interesting.
And it's funny that you say that, because that's kind of what happened actually, but it just wasn't her. It was the other guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It would have been so much more interesting if Braga was a girl and also like someone who was totally looked over by like everyone in the movie.
Right, because, and I mean, with every subsequent movie, they seem to be doing better with like the roles the female characters play, but that would have been a really good twist on how like the male characters overlook all the female characters, and that's kind of a missed opportunity. But you know, what are you gonna do? It came out like 11 years ago.
Yeah. Oh god, 2009 was 11 years ago.
Yeah. You hate me now.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like, you know, for so long you were like, oh, the late 90s and early 2000s, that was like 5-10 years ago. And now it's like, that was 20 years ago. Fucking crazy. We're not even that old, and yet I kept doing that.
No, yeah, that's maybe the most messed up part of that.
Yeah. Also, this is just a very small aside. It has nothing to do with what we were talking about, but did you ever watch Teen Titans growing up, like the cartoon, the TV show?
Never consistently.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Like I had a friend who watched it, and I'd watch it with her sometimes. Okay.
'Cause the voice of Beast Boy is that gross foot fetish guy.
No! Is
yeah.
that what that note means? That's so upsetting.
I wrote down Beast Boy has a foot fetish.
Because I was like, who is this twink ass foot fetishist cowboy, and why is he in this movie?
Oh my God. Yeah, I thought I recognized his like face, and I was like, but I don't know. And then he started talking more, and I was like, oh no, it's voice actor Greg Sipes.
That's very upsetting.
It was very upsetting, but also kind of cool that he was like in a live action movie. I didn't realize he did those.
That must be a nice change, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I too recognized a very minor character, the female FBI agent. She's also in NCIS.
Oh, cool. I thought she was like one of the better parts of this movie actually, because she was so capable. Okay, so the guy who's like Paul Walker beats up,
Yeah.
the agent, was that the one from Too Fast Too Furious, who was also an asshole?
I don't know. That would be hilarious though.
Because they look like, I don't know, I guess all assholes in movies who are FBI agents look the same to me. Because I was like, is that? I don't know. They're white and about the same age. So it could be. I guess I'll have to look it up. But I love that, yeah, the FBI girl she was like actually capable and seemed to like understand everything Brian was doing.
That was a nice change.
Yeah, right? Like he had someone on his side, sort of. Do we want to talk about Dom Brian rights?
Yes, because they have rights and I have rights.
Yes. And we deserve to see them together. Although
this movie is a romance.
It is. It really is. It brings them back together.
The amount of, oh my God, I would like to go back and watch this movie again.
The like eye contact
without drinking during it, so that I could like really pay attention to all the moments that Brian and Dom have together that could be considered like very subtle subtext declarations of love. There are like so many of them, and there are at least 3.
Yeah, it's so good, and maybe it's because I'm like an adult now watching these. Instead of like 14 or whatever, but it's like so obvious to me, and I never thought this before when I originally watched them, but it's like it's right there. Like the way that they look at each other and the things that they say, I guess you could write it off as like, bro, you lift me up, bro.
Right.
But no.
They are literally soulmates. Like
yes.
if this was Pacific Rim, they would be drifting together.
Yes.
Like,
that's a good way to describe it, because it's like so obvious too. Like no one would ever doubt that they're drift compatible. Like in fiction, like in the like all the actual characters in the movie, they'd be like, oh yeah, they can totally. Yeah, that's like
absolutely.
They're the only two who could do it.
But I can count. Just for my notes, just like I have one that says Brian loves you, do you see, after some kind of explosion. Unfortunately, I don't know what that's in reference to, but I wrote it in all caps and there are a lot of exclamation points, so it's got to be true.
Oh my gosh, I want to watch these movies drunk with you.
It'll be
a riot.
Absolutely. Then I have he will never bring Dom in, he has to prove himself. 10-second car. They should have kissed after Dom broke that window and said, now we're even.
Oh,
very much that, and those I think all happen like in fairly quick succession, so they count as one. But like that moment
in particular, yes,
precious. And then I have Brian loves Dom enough to bargain for him. Fuck. And then I don't plan on bringing anyone back. I know. And I was like, if that isn't a declaration of love, I will walk right into the sea. That is so commitment.
Good. Yeah.
That they are in it for life.
And I love that like all it took was this movie. Like they've been apart for like some years apparently, you know, like because we had the first movie and then everyone went on the run except for Brian, who then briefly had a stint with the FBI. I guess he's still, and again, this movie he's still with the FBI. But like something happened in this movie that like makes Brian love Dom so much that he decides that he's gonna break Dom out of jail at the end. Like, holy shit. He's like, you know, screw the FBI once again, even though I'm finally like in with them. No, I'm like, gonna break you out. Ride or die.
He's not gonna. He's gonna run. he's going to be on the run because
Yeah, because
of
he
Dom.
loves. Yeah, exactly. He didn't have to do that. He and Mia did not have to do that.
Mm.
But here we are.
Sorry, I'm still thinking about. I don't plan on bringing anyone back. I know. I'll be thinking about
Ah!
it forever.
It's one of those lines where like you could say that like you did here out of context and be like, wow, so romantic, and then you tell people where it's from, they're like, excuse me.
What did you say?
From Fast and Furious 2009.
It's
Fucking
yeah, it's
crazy.
like those Tumblr ones where it's like the "We deserve a soft epilogue, my love." It's from a
Yeah.
Captain America fanfic.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Hell, yes, it is.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
Beautiful.
Uh,
I have a lot of feelings about the character choices, especially towards the end of this movie. It
yeah,
makes me very happy. I'm
yeah.
very happy with this.
A lot of good things happen at the end. Again, like it goes from like 0 to 100 really quickly. Like suddenly they're like not only working together but they're ride or die. Like I don't know really when that switch happens again. But suddenly it's like, oh wow, both of them would do anything for the other person.
I think, and I'll have to go back and watch it again, obviously
Clearly,
now. But
yeah.
I think maybe it's when Brian agreed to go with Dom, despite the fact that like Dom was not planning on being
Oh,
alive afterwards, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go with you. Like I think that's probably it. Once
right.
he like finally made that decision out loud
Mhm.
and actually followed through, he was like, okay, this
Yeah.
is not like it was the last time we were together.
Yeah. This is going to be different. I'm going to
Yeah.
make sure it's different. Yeah. Dom Toretto values commitment here. He's a surprisingly soft person on the inside. Like, you wouldn't think so just by, like, how he's characterized throughout the franchise, but he is. And by
Yes.
characterized, I mean, like, in, like, popular media and, like, by fanboys.
Right. No, exactly. I'm like, okay, sure, you think he's this badass who like blah, blah, and yes, he is, but he also says grace with his
Family.
little sister. So,
Yeah.
there's that.
That moment was so sweet. So,
I was
so,
like,
so
fine, I'll
sweet.
admit this is cute.
Yeah. They're fam.
I love the fam.
Do you want to talk about how this Fast and Furious franchise is a fantasy series for
Yes,
you?
Fast and Furious is in fact a fantasy series, and it is for me only fantasy series because I don't have a driver's license. I was gonna say because I can't drive, but like technically I know how to
Technically,
drive. I just
yeah.
don't.
Like, do you think if you got in a car like right now, you'd be confident enough to like drive by yourself anywhere? Like that level of driving, or like would you be a bit nervous?
I'd probably be nervous,
Okay, okay. So I
but
think
like
it's
I would
yeah.
do it. Like especially like obviously if it was an emergency, like
Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
would not like hesitate to do it. But yeah. Anyway, Fast and Furious is actually a fantasy
Yeah.
franchise
I was
because
just trying
driving.
to ascertain how much of a fantasy series it was for you personally.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of other unrealistic things that happen, so it's
That's
pretty up
true.
there.
That is so, so true. You could literally tell me anything about these characters and anything that happens in these movies, and I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about
That
right.
happened, absolutely.
Yeah. You could not, yeah, you can't prove that any of that didn't happen. In some worlds, it did. These characters are fucking insane.
It's
And
true.
that's good, though. I like that, though.
Yeah, no, but you're right. They absolutely are insane. Like Brian drove straight into the mountains at the
Yeah!
end of this movie. Like did not even hesitate once. Did not
Toronto was like,
second guess where
are
the
you
opening was.
sure you
I was
know
like,
where it is? And Brian's like, yeah. Just
dang.
watch me. Fucking A. He could have killed him. Wouldn't that have been ending? Could you imagine?
God.
Oh man. Well, that was another thing. I don't actually know if I put this in my notes, but the idea that like they all have like physics down to a T. Like there's so many like tricks and stuff that they do that
That's
I'm
an
like,
excellent point.
you have to have like a really advanced knowledge of how cars and gravity and everything works in order to like pull these things off, and yet they do. Like, does Brian have a secret degree in physics that I don't know about? Dom too? Like, I don't
I was
I don't
gonna
get
say
it.
maybe not a degree, but I think they are certainly some kind of like physics geniuses.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess you learn a lot of things when you're around something that much. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Like I'm still like I like to think I'm pretty good at physics. Like not amazing, but like I'm good enough at it. But I still can't figure out how the fuck drifting works, like in real life. I have
Oh
no
yeah.
idea. In theory, you like turn. We discussed this in the other episode, but I'm still
Yes.
struggling over it, and that's weird for me. Annoying. Brian, Dom, Hans.
Explain.
Yeah, explain. How do you do
Explain
it?
yourselves.
I am all out of things that I would like to talk about. I don't know if you have anything additional.
Listen, all I have to say about this movie, to sum up,
Yeah.
have you seen Vin Diesel's arms?
Have you seen his arm?
Nice.
Wow. They are very nice.
It's pretty
There's a
good.
reason they dress him only in like wife beaters and then dress Brian up in like full suits.
Yes.
Okay. So that's it for this week, I believe. Or this month, technically. December, as a nice little Christmas treat to me and to Gabby and to you guys, we will be doing the best movie, which is Fast Five.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I think a lot of the movies are free on HBO Max right now, which I did not realize, and I paid for one of them the other
You fool.
night. I know, and then I was like, I guess I should check and see if one of these is available for free. And yeah, so if any of you have HBO Max and want to watch these along with us, they're free. Talk to us about this episode or any other movies or whatever on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. And let us know what else you'd like to see us do, because after the 9 comes out, I don't know what we're gonna.
Yeah, we actually don't
Yeah.
have any plans like for once in
Yeah.
our lives. So
So
you'd
let
like
us
to hear
know.
it.
And I think that's it. Yeah.
Until next time, Avenge Girls out.